Hi, this is Jamey with Stonemeyer Games, and today I'm going to talk about my favorite mechanism in a game called Big Monster. This is a game that was on the French version of Kickstarter. A friend brought it to my game night the other night, and we played it. And it looks kind of like this. This is the end game setup for me. It's basically a tile drafting game, and you're building your own tableau of different monsters on an alien planet. And it's really a set collection game, drafting set collection game. But it does one thing really, really cool that I haven't been able to stop thinking about because it's such an innovative twist on an existing mechanism. You're all probably familiar with the drafting mechanism prevalent in like Magic drafts or Seven Wonders, where you get a hand of stuff, you pick one, maybe two, and you pass that hand to the player on your left or your right. It's almost always clockwise or counterclockwise. In Big Monster, you pass to whoever you want at the table. You pick your thing, you pick a tile out of your hand, and then any other player, or even yourself, if that player has not already received a new hand of tiles, you can pass to them. There's a little spaceship that you can put the tiles on, so it's very clear if they have or have not received the tiles. I'll let that sink in for a minute. Feel free to pause the video and think about that, or think about it after the video. But it was so counterintuitive to what I've thought about drafting. About how you're always passing to the same player within at least the same round. Passing to the left, pass to the left. Maybe the next round you pass to the right, pass to the right. It adds so many interesting decisions because you get to choose who gets your tiles. And they even took it a step further than that. There is a pro and a con, or there are cons to this, some cons. I'll mention them in a second. But they added a whole other level to it too, because in certain player counts, we played a 6-player game, you have a partner. And so at the end of the game, similar to Between Two Castles or Between Two Cities, you score the lowest of your two tableaus. So this was my tableau. I did not have a good scoring tableau, but my partner did. But unfortunately, that meant that we both scored the lower scoring of our tableaus. But the partner element adds a whole new element to this, because sometimes I can see what my partner is building, and I might have something in my hand that I want to give my partner, so I'll try to pass to them. But sometimes I might not have something that they want, and so I want to give that hand to somebody else, and I want to choose to give that hand to someone else that can't fully benefit from it. Most of us seem to build our own engines. Like I had all these desert tiles. You can't even see all of them. I had a ton of these desert tiles. So it was very clear at the table that I was going after deserts, and so players may have avoided giving me deserts. So you have that open information on the table to decide, do I give to my partner? Do I give to someone else? I also think it's brilliant that you can pass to yourself. Now, I don't remember the exact rule. I believe you can choose to pass to yourself. But the rule that I definitely remember is that at the end of the round, or if you do end up passing to yourself, whether it's on purpose or because everyone else has already passed to all the other players at the table, and you must pass to yourself, you get a little penalty token. And if you, at the end of the round, are the player who has that penalty token, so you're the last player who ended up passing to yourself, you lose 5 points. So there's a little bit of there's a mechanism discouraging you from doing this. But I love that in a drafting game, because how many times have you had a hand of cards or tiles in a drafting game where you didn't want to pass it at all because you had something else that you really wanted to take out of that hand? In Big Monster, you can pass to yourself. Which I think, again, is a really cool twist. You can just give your own hand back to yourself with the potential of having a penalty at the end of the round, but knowing that you get that thing that you really, really want. I think that is really cool too, and that's organically tied into this element of you pass to whoever you want. Now, the one downside to the way that Big Monster implemented it, in my opinion, actually I'll say a pro first. This is all done in real time. So if I am ready to pass my hand to another player, I'm not waiting for a signal from anybody else. I'm just doing it. I pick a tile and then I pass to whoever I want in real time. The nice thing about this is that it keeps things moving along at a very brisk pace. I'm sure, again, you may have played a drafting game like, again, Seven Wonders, where everyone picks and then you're just waiting on one person that can't seem to make a decision. In this game, because it doesn't incentivize you to make a slow decision, everyone's like frantically picking the tile and passing it very quickly. It moves along really, really quickly. It's a very short game. The downside to this is that it actually detracts from some of this interesting decision space that it built for itself. Because I mentioned before, like you have this decision of, okay, do I pass to myself? Do I pass to my partner? Do I pass to another player? Do I want to give them something that they can't use very easily? But in the frantic real-time element, you are really just trying to get a tile and get your hand to someone else as fast as possible. We did find that it usually wasn't as urgent as it needed to be to at least not end up with your own hand and end up with that penalty. But often, like, if you took even just a little bit, if you took like 10 seconds to make a decision, that was a long time. And so you were kind of just left with the scraps at that point. You were left passing to the person who hadn't been passed to. So I kind of wish, if this video gives any of you ideas about new drafting mechanism, in terms of like drafting not to the same person each round, drafting to whomever you choose, I would recommend not doing it in real time. Instead have some sort of order to the passing. Maybe you pass the first player token, and maybe I'm the first player, I get to pass to whoever I want, and then the next player passes to whoever they want, and so on clockwise, and then that rotates. I think that would give players a lot more time to really soak in to that really interesting decision space of deciding who you're passing to, which that is the innovative mechanism here, rather than just rushing it along as quickly as possible. I want to play again to see if that is still the case, but we played two full rounds, and it ended up being the same way for both of those rounds. Anyway, Big Monster, really innovative drafting mechanism. I'd love to hear your thoughts. If you can think of another game that had a drafting mechanism that just blew your mind of how innovative and new it was, I'd love to hear your thoughts about that in the comments. Or if by chance you have played Big Monster, the few of you out there who maybe have, I'd love to hear your thoughts about that as well if you have a different favorite mechanism in the game. Thanks.